Breaking: Trump scores major legal victory against House over bank records. President Donald Trump's attorneys have come to an agreement with the House Intelligence and Financial Services Committee. The agreement has the Democrat-controlled committee agreeing to not enforce the subpoenas to get the president's financial records from Deutsche Bank and Capital One for now, CNN reported. The parties have reached an agreement regarding compliance with and enforcement of the subpoenas during the pendency of Plaintiff's appeal, the document that was submitted to the court read. Earlier this week, Judge Edgardo Ramos in New York had refused to block the subpoenas, setting off a one-week clock for the Trump team to find a way to prevent extensive financial information from being released. The agreement blocks the subpoenas for now until an appeals court can weigh in. A federal judge in New York dealt Democrats a blow in a case in which they want to access President Donald Trump's financial records. If this was an ordinary civil case, I would send you guys into a room until you came out with a reasonable subpoena, Judge Edgardo Ramos said. The Southern District of New York judge gave Trump a minor victory when he told the Democrats that their subpoena was too broad, but he still sided with the Democrats, Law and Crime reported. U.S. District Judge from the Southern District of New York, Edgardo Ramos, on Wednesday ruled the President Donald Trump can't block the congressional subpoena issued to the Deutsche Bank, agreeing with his D.C. colleagues' rationale in the Mazars USA case. Trump, of course, sued both Mazars' case, his accountant, and Deutsche Bank after House Democrats demanded that these entities hand over documents related to Trump's finances. Douglas Letter, General Counsel for the House of Representatives, argued that it's about time the American people find out if its president or the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, are beholden to foreign interests and entities. Notably, Deutsche Bank reps were offered an opportunity to comment, but they opted to sit on the sidelines. Attorney Richard Roth, founder and partner at the Roth law firm PLLC, previously told Law and Crime why he thinks Deutsche Bank is taking his path. While typically a bank does stand behind its customer, there are two reasons why Deutsche Bank is staying silent. The first, and less obvious, is that when a motion is made to quash or deny the subpoena, banks generally sit back to allow the parties to fight and await the result, he said. But in the instance, the issues are more serious. Essentially, we have a very public dispute between the legislative and executive branches of government, which no bank wants to take side in, he said. Christina Aleski tweeted, NY judge just suggested that congressional subpoenas of two banks for Trump's bank records were too broad via WMR tweeted, It doesn't look good. There's a lawyer on CNN who's been watching the hearing and she said the judge seems to think that Dem subpoena is too broad, rats. Elizabeth de la Vega tweeted, From the bench just minutes after the hearing, Judge Ramos reads 25-page opinion denying Trump et al.'s motion for a preliminary injunction prohibiting Deutsche Bank and Capital One from complying with House subpoenas. Well, that was quick. Steve Vladeck tweeted, For the second time in 3 days, a federal district judge has rejected an effort by real Donald Trump to block subpoenas issued by Congress to third parties seeking records relating to his finances. This time it's Judge Ramos in the Deutsche Bank case in New York. Sahil Kapoor tweeted, Judge Ramos won't issue an injunction against the Trump bank subpoenas and says the president is unlikely to succeed on the merits. Ron Garza tweeted, Judge Ramos' decision came 2 days after another federal judge in Washington, D.C. said Trump's accountants at the firm Mazars LLP had to comply with the congressional subpoena for his financial records. Adam Klasfeld tweeted, We are way overdue in knowing that. Letter concludes before stepping down. Deutsche and Capital One declined Ramos' invitation to chime in on the matter. "You come all the down here," the judge quipped. "Strawbridge, back up."